Every story begins in the dark, but not every story ends there.
Daniel and Emma realized something strange about their family lately. Even though they lived in the same house, everyone spent most of their time looking at screens. Lucas, their 13-year-old son, always wore headphones and played games on his phone. Sophie, their little daughter, carried her tablet everywhere she went. Even during dinner, the family barely talked anymore. One Friday evening, Daniel walked into the living room and announced, "This weekend, we're going on a trip." Lucas looked up immediately. "Where?" "A cabin near a lake in the mountains." Sophie asked the most important question first. "Does it have Wi-Fi?" Daniel smiled proudly. "Nope." Both children groaned dramatically while Emma laughed. The next morning, they packed the car and started driving toward the mountains. At first, the ride felt quiet and awkward. Lucas kept scrolling through his phone while Sophie watched cartoons. But after some time, Emma suggested a challenge. No phones for 1 hour. The children complained, but finally agreed. Daniel immediately turned on old music from his teenage years and started singing loudly and terribly. Emma joined him, making Sophie laugh so hard she almost spilled her drink. Soon even Lucas removed his headphones and laughed along. By the time they reached the cabin, the mood had completely changed. The cabin sat beside a beautiful lake surrounded by tall pine trees and cool fresh air. Nearby stood a rope swing and an old wooden dock stretching across the water. While Daniel searched underneath the porch for the keys, Lucas and Sophie explored the area together. Sophie found the rope swing, while Lucas discovered an old basketball near the lake. Soon they were competing, laughing, and running around like they hadn't done in years. Emma quietly watched them with a smile. Later that afternoon, the family rented a small rowboat. Daniel confidently claimed he knew exactly how to row, but within minutes the boat started spinning in circles. Sophie laughed nonstop, while Emma joked that they might never make it back to shore. Even Lucas couldn't stop smiling. That evening, they built a campfire outside the cabin. Daniel burned the marshmallows. Sophie tried telling scary stories, but forgot the endings, and Emma laughed harder than anyone. Under the stars, the family talked for hours about school, childhood memories, dreams, and funny moments they had forgotten over the years. For the first time in a very long while, nobody cared about phones, games, or the internet. They were simply enjoying each other's company. The next morning, Lucas quietly sat beside his father near the lake and said, "We should do this again sometime." Daniel smiled proudly. "Even without Wi-Fi?" Lucas laughed softly. "Okay, maybe a little Wi-Fi." As the family drove home, singing loudly together, Daniel realized the trip was never really about the cabin or the lake. It was simply about finding time for each other again. Moral: the best family memories come from simple moments spent together.